If you have food in your fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head and a place to sleep in, you are richer than 75% of people in the world. Not only that, consider how lucky you are to have been born and to live in the 21st century. In any other time period in history, your life would have sucked probably, considering short lifespans due to disease, wars, poverty, etc. And don't get me wrong, these problems are still huge today, but statistically speaking, there has never been a better time to be alive than today. And that's largely thanks to technology. In this video, we'll explore a list of 5 techs that will radically change our lives, for the better, or for worse. Number 5. 3D printers. The term 3D printing covers a variety of processes in which material is joined or solidified under computer control to create a 3-dimensional object, with material being added together such as liquid molecules or powder grains being fused together, typically layer by layer. As of right now, applications of 3D printing include fields in medicine, architecture, custom art and design. But in the coming years, if you own a 3D printer, you'll be able to manufacture just about anything with the cost of raw materials. Think about the clothes you've always wanted, the sports gear, or even your dream house. Yes, 3D printers are already put to use for that. A simple house like this can be constructed in less than 24 hours for under $4,000. This might be a great solution for homelessness. But what will be the economic repercussions of 3D printers? In the future, companies like Adidas might only be selling PDF manuals of instructions for your 3D printer. 3D printing companies today are asking their customers not to use their 3D printer to print another 3D printer. But that doesn't sound economically viable, does it? A 3D printer can be and will be used for manufacturing weapons as well. It's getting increasingly easier for bad actors to find ways to disrupt society. Future problems always seem fun to think about until they arrive on your doorstep sooner than you expected. Number 4. Cultured meat. The horrors of factory farming are undeniable. It's hard for us to think about the ethical implications of eating meat once the steak is served on our plates, but billions of livestock animals are slaughtered to meet the high demand for our meat consumption. Because of that, it's too tempting to think that gross process is inevitable. But in the coming years, all of it might change with the introduction of lab-grown meat, or cultured meat, in which meat produced by in vitro cultivation of animal cells, instead from slaughtered animals, is a form of cellular agriculture. Cultured meat is produced using many of the same tissue engineering techniques traditionally used in regenerative medicine, but some people vocalise they wouldn't touch lab-grown meat with a 10-foot pole. By cultured meat, you take away the horrific process of slaughter. And yet, that somehow makes it gross, as though meat from a living animal has some magical property to it. But even if we succeed and make cultured meat mainstream, the question still remains: what will become of the majority of the livestock animals once we no longer have use for them? Number 3. VR. Virtual reality, or VR, is already here to stay. It's changing the industry of gaming like never before. It's still in its infancy, but the field has seen massive improvement over the last couple of years. VR is an experience taking place within simulated or immersive environments that can be similar to or completely different from the real world. Applications of virtual reality are focused mainly on entertainment, but are also included for educational purposes like medical and military training. Some experts in the field think we are only 5 years away from an experience like what we've seen in the movie Ready Player One.
Get out of town! Buckaroo Banzai! I like it! I like Buckaroo Banzai!
The Tesla suit has already been developed, which is the world's first fully integrated smart clothing apparel with haptic feedback, motion capture, heat control and biometric feedback systems. In other words, we are getting close to include all our senses into VR. Think about the endless possibilities of immersion. You could be Alexander the Great, Caesar, or your own protagonist in your own universe. Of course, VR will present an eventual downside as well. Its powerful experiences might lead to a global addiction like we've never seen before. After all, if the virtual world becomes more interesting than the real one, where will you spend most of your time? Number 2. Genome editing. Genome editing is a type of genetic engineering in which DNA is inserted, deleted, modified or replaced in the genome of a living organism. Unlike early genetic engineering techniques that randomly insert genetic materials into a host genome, genome editing targets the insertions to site-specific locations. Imagine all the possibilities in the coming decades. Disease might be wiped out of the face of the earth. Or it could get stronger if a genetically modified virus is weaponized and released into the public by bioterrorists. And if you rest assured that all the necessary precautions and measures are being taken to prevent something like that, just keep in mind that a simple Google search can reveal the complete genome of a virus like HIV-1. Not to argue that all you need is the genetic information of a virus to construct a bioweapon, but the rapid improvement of technology has made it possible that every 18 months the minimum IQ necessary to destroy the world drops by 1 point. Besides eradicating disease or weaponizing it, with genome editing, we'll be able to enhance or improve our current condition. We'll be able to make our children, and even ourselves, smarter, stronger or faster. But is something like that ethical? We will increase unfair advantages over those who cannot afford it. Genome editing will definitely revolutionize our lives, one way or the other. Number 1. AI. We've covered the dangers of artificial intelligence in the video you'll be seeing suggested on the top right corner, and by the way, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for new videos. Artificial intelligence was founded as an academic discipline in 1956, and in the years since has experienced several waves of improvement, but thought-capable artificial beings appeared as storytelling devices even in antiquity. If we manage to avoid the dangers that come along with creating AI, the benefits of technologies we've mentioned earlier in this video will seem minuscule. Indeed, artificial intelligence might be the last invention of humankind. And that can be interpreted in two extreme views. In one possibility, they destroy their creators and take over the world, and in the other scenario, we overcome every obstacle they present and lead lives with unimaginable levels of well-being, happiness and creativity for the rest of time. If AI ever reaches human level intelligence, which by the way is a false goal, because if it does, there is nothing stopping it from surpassing human level intelligence in literally the next hour. So focusing on human level intelligence seems egotistically arbitrary. But even if that was the limit, even if AI could not get smarter than a human, but it operates with electronic devices which are about 1,000,000 times faster than a human brain, you can still get a lot in that space. Imagine if you had Einstein, Newton, Da Vinci, or pick your favourite genius in a room and give them a task to complete, and they have 20,000 years to do so. But in our world, only a week passes by. Can we even grasp what they come up with? If the rapid improvement of machines continues, there will be a point called technological singularity, beyond of which what happens is a Pandora's box that we might reach to open in another video.